Hello, this is Dr. Matney, and we are going to be talking about the content standards for mathematics in grades 4 and 5. I want to unpack this a little bit for everyone so you can see the important sections of the standards. Looking at the standards, grade 4 is where I'm going to start, and the very first page has things called critical areas. So critical area number 1 is developing an understanding and fluency with multi-digit multiplication, so on and so forth. Critical area 2 is developing an understanding of fraction equivalence, addition, and subtraction, so on and so forth. The focus in this course has been decided upon because of critical standards that are exhibited by the state of Ohio. So this page is very important to read. It's very important to understand what is considered a needed focus in these standards. There are more standards than just these in the critical areas of focus, so I want you to read through all of them so that you're familiar with them. So you're going to do that in this particular module. Also, you should note that the second page has the standards for mathematical practice here. You'll find these in every single grade level. The 8 standards for mathematical practice, which we've already read about, they are central and they are imperative to the learning of mathematics, and therefore you will find them in all of the standards in every grade level. The standards are broken down into domains, and these bold letters here in the Ohio Learning Standards indicate those domains. Underneath those domains will be what we call clusters. And then within clusters, there'll be specific standards related to things that students need to know and learn. So let's look at that real quick. Here is the operations and algebraic thinking domain. Under that, you see the cluster. It's in light blue here. Underneath that cluster, you'll see 1, 2, 3 standards that are all related. And that's why we call them a cluster. There are 3 different standards, but they're related to one another. And mathematics is a highly integrated subject. So we have domains, then we have clusters, then within clusters we have related standards. And this is meant to help us as teachers know that, well, these particular standards are related. So if I can think about navigating the cluster in my instruction, then it'll help the students make those connections across that cluster and then ultimately make connections across the domain. That is the organization and structure of our standards. Then I'm going to skip down to grade 5 real quick because you're going to read both grade 4 and grade 5 in this module. And let's go back up here. So the critical area number 1 for grade 5 is developing fluency with addition and subtraction of fractions. Again, in modules 4 and 5, we will look at these ideas specifically and more in depth. And then critical area number 2, extending division to 2-digit divisors, integrating decimals, decimal fractions, etc. Again, this is something that we'll explore in our readings and work later on in this particular course. So there are some critical areas you'll read about, and then you'll read about the standards that are exhibited in grade 5 so that you have a better understanding. I hope you find this overview of the standards helpful.